Hello everyone, Joel here. This video is a bit of a meme since people have been protesting about the terms of Diablo-like and demand to change it to Path of Exile-like games, so here we are. The future of this genre is bright, and I'd say this is a perfect time for us to delve into some of the new or upcoming PoE-like games that you should anticipate in 2026. That being said, the supply for this genre is still not as big as the others, so expect some already mentioned titles from previous videos. And since we are talking about new and upcoming games, the number in this list will not representing the ranking of the game. Before we continue the video, I want to inform you that right now, there are tons of crazy deals in instant gaming, especially if you love RPG games. Remember how expensive modern gaming lately? Well, not anymore, since you can get so many amazing titles with crazy discounts in instant gaming. Can you believe that just with $10 or even less than $5, you can enjoy one of the best gaming experiences in your life? Just look at these titles. It used to cost like $30 or even more than $40. And to make things even crazier, some games even drop so far to just $1. If you're a smart guy, you know what you have to do. All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platform. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Shattered Realms is soon entering early access with a focused but promising foundation. Developed by Spellbound Studios, this dark fantasy roguelite ARPG centers on fast combat, procedural realms, and meaningful build experimentation. The current version offers 3 guardians and a single corrupted realm, yet each run feels driven by smart enemy behavior, wave bosses, and high-impact world encounters. Loot rolls, rarity tiers, and status effects encourage constant adjustment, while the Crystal Sanctum hub supports crafting and permanent upgrades. Even in its limited state, the balance between temporary power spikes and long-term progression creates strong replay value ahead of its planned Q2 2026 expansion. Void Diver blends extraction tension with sharp 2.5D pixel art and layered progression systems. Developed by Studio Nemo and published by Load Complete, it places you in control of divers exploring a distorted city that functions as a living dungeon. Combat feels deliberate and dangerous, whether played solo or in co-op, with each character offering distinct skills and narrative context. Beyond expeditions, managing the Balusha antique shop adds economic strategy and long-term planning. Stress mechanics, lingering curses, and artifact trading give every successful escape weight, creating a loop that rewards caution, coordination, and thoughtful build crafting. Dragonkin the Banished enters early access with ambition and a clear identity. Developed by Echo Software, it pushes beyond standard loot-driven design by placing real weight on narrative setup and player choice. The opening prologue lets you test multiple heroes at peak strength before committing, which makes class selection feel informed instead of risky. Combat is responsive and satisfying, supported by flexible control options, but the true depth lies in the ancestral grid. Its hex-based skill system rewards experimentation, even if early limitations slow momentum. City upgrades and a dragon companion feel underdeveloped, yet the foundation is strong and promising. ReBlade: The Death Spiral is shaping up to be one of the more stylish isometric action games on the horizon. It blends cyberpunk themes with Chinese mythology, casting players as a condemned synthetic fighting through dense enemy formations in a fractured future. Early footage highlights fast, skill-based combat built around precise movement and well-timed deflections, including the ability to send heavy projectiles straight back at attackers. The isometric perspective keeps encounters readable despite the chaos, while weapon variety and upgrade systems appear central to long-term progression. Details are still limited, but its pacing and combat design make it a PC action RPG worth watching closely. The Dark West is an upcoming isometric ARPG that blends the grim tone of Diablo 4 with the frontier identity of Red Dead Redemption 2. Set in an occult west trapped beneath endless dusk, it builds its identity around atmosphere, faction conflict, and reputation-driven progression. Combat promises a brutal mix of gunplay and dark magic, supported by deep skill trees and legendary gear. Systems like alcohol-fueled power boost and poker hand ability modifiers add risk-reward strategy to character builds. With 5 planned acts and evolving class options, its early access phase could shape a distinctive, systems-heavy Western ARPG. Heart of Gaia builds its identity around a steampunk fantasy world scarred by divine collapse and the looming return of an ancient dragon. The story sets clear stakes, but what stands out is its real-time character switching, allowing players to rotate between distinct heroes mid-combat. Each party member, from disciplined paladins to agile rogues and arcane scholars, brings defined abilities that encourage tactical synergy instead of button mashing. Encounters emphasize positioning, timing, and coordinated skill use, especially against larger bosses. Outside combat, exploration across industrial cities and sacred forests reinforces its lore-heavy focus, giving this Q1 2026 action RPG both mechanical depth and narrative ambition. Carbon positions itself as a sci-fi alternative in a genre long dominated by dark fantasy. Set on a ruined Earth orbiting beneath corporate megacities, it builds its identity around augmentation choice and deep specialization. Players commit to either bio or tech paths, each shaping combat rhythm, survivability, and long-term growth in different ways. 18 core specializations branch into expansive passive trees, while more than 100 skills can be socketed and modified for tailored builds. Online co-op supports coordinated party roles, reinforcing its system's heavy design. With its cyberpunk and biopunk focus, Carbon aims to deliver a more technological vision of loot-driven progression. Fangs of Asterkarn, the third expansion for Grim Dawn, expands Cairn with a harsh northern frontier built for veteran players. Snowbound peaks, frozen caverns, and tribal strongholds form the backdrop for a faction-driven storyline centered on the Cairn. The headline addition is the Berserker Mastery, a shape-shifting class that pushes build diversity even further across its 45 mastery combinations. Ascendant mode reshapes the campaign into a high-end challenge space with stronger enemies and improved rewards, giving long-term characters meaningful goals. Potion customization, a fixed transmutation, and hundreds of new items reinforce its identity as a systems-heavy expansion focused on deepening progression. Vaultbreakers blends top-down action RPG combat with extraction tension, creating a loop built on risk, recovery, and long-term growth. Set around the reawakened Dragon Vault, each expedition sends players into a corrupted world where relics can redefine builds, but are only valuable if brought home alive. Shared progression between PvE and PvPvE modes allows players to choose safer advancement or higher stakes encounters against rivals. Combat emphasizes positioning, timing, and preparation over reckless aggression, while Haven upgrades unlock permanent boons and new synergies. Dynamic events reshape maps during runs, ensuring that no two missions unfold the same way and every decision carries weight. Lord of Hatred expands Sanctuary with a focused narrative escalation and meaningful systemic upgrades. Set in Skovos, the expansion deepens Ciri's lore through Mephisto's return, positioning him as an active force rather than a distant threat. The new Paladin class reinforces frontline build diversity, while a second unrevealed class hints at further archetype expansion. A race level cap, reworked skill trees, and new variants across all classes meaningfully refresh progression. The addition of a loot filter addresses long-standing inventory friction. Combined with darker narrative stakes and broader environmental variety, Lord of Hatred looks positioned to strengthen both endgame structure and long-term replay value.
We've died many times since.
At Gamescom 2025, Gods, Death and Reapers immediately stood out by committing fully to its extraction RPG identity. Developed by Wolcen Studio, it blends top-down combat with high-risk extraction structure inside a mythological afterlife where gods are dead. The Norse map showcased dense enemy variety, distinct boss design, and strong environmental detail, while future Egyptian, Aztec, and Greek regions promise meaningful thematic shifts. Combat emphasizes skill unlocks, weapon choice, and tactical retreats, with Sanctuary upgrades reinforcing long-term progression. Extraction encounters create tension without abandoning RPG depth. Even in early form, its systems show cohesion, ambition, and strong replay potential. Nearly 2 decades after the original, Titan Quest II modernizes its mythological formula with responsive combat and strong controller support. The game delivers flexible buildcraft through 4 masteries, dozens of active and passive skills, and extensive modifiers that meaningfully shape playstyles. Combat feels impactful, bosses demand aggression, and performance remains stable even at high settings. However, excessive loot drops disrupt pacing, and the narrative lacks weight despite solid voice acting. While still in progress, its satisfying combat loop and Greek setting provide a sturdy foundation that could mature into a standout ARPG.
The Ithians' military strength.
Not yet.
Be wary.
What is this force, this aether?
Crystalfall positions itself as a systems-driven online ARPG built around procedural customization and item power. Developed by CRG Studio, it blends steampunk aesthetics with a post-apocalyptic setting shaped by a catastrophic asteroid impact. Its classless framework encourages experimentation through attribute focus, expansive talent trees, and lootable skills featuring randomized upgrade paths. Itemization drives progression, with trading, salvaging, and seasonal resets reinforcing long-term engagement. Early access launches with 3 classes and 5 acts alongside an evolving endgame. While polish remains in progress, its emphasis on build theory crafting and infinite scaling offers promising depth for dedicated ARPG players.
It is our duty to keep order, to keep them in place.
After playing a while with no rest for the wicked, it's clear that Moon Studios has built something confident and distinct, blending deliberate stamina-based combat with isometric loot progression. It delivers weighty melee encounters, layered exploration, and a city-building loop that makes Sakra feel personal. The art direction and cinematics stand out immediately, supported by strong music and dense level design filled with secrets. Build variety is meaningful, though loot balance and early weapon turnover could improve. Housing and reconstruction systems show long-term potential if expanded with deeper NPC interaction and economic incentives. Even in early access, it feels focused, ambitious, and already remarkably polished. Darkhaven aims to modernize classic design principles with systemic ambition. Developed by Moonbeast Productions, it combines procedural world generation with fully deformable terrain, allowing players to dig, reshape landscapes, and construct fortifications inside persistent realms. Exploration feels cohesive thanks to ecologically stitched biomes rather than corridor-based layouts. Combat emphasizes mobility, verticality, and enemy behavior, rewarding positioning over raw statistics. Its itemization philosophy prioritizes impactful gear and long-term trading value instead of incremental upgrades. With PvP-enabled worlds, co-op support, and built-in modding tools, Darkhaven presents itself as both a customizable sandbox and a serious contender in the evolving ARPG space. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other new Path of Exile like ARPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best new PoE-like games that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!